All right, so 23.1 is behind us. I'm just gonna do a little watch through here of my video, rewatch, and kind of give you guys some ideas of what I was thinking about, what was going on, and maybe some tips that might help you guys out. So this is obviously a big chipper, and I think it depends where you're at really with your muscle ups to really determine how you're gonna attack it. If you have really confident muscle ups, you can really push the pace a little bit at the start. If you only are hoping to get reps in the muscle ups, or you're thinking like that, you know, you're hoping to get your first muscle up, first few muscle ups, you really can afford to be pretty conservative in this workout. If you have your toes to bars and your skills in line, you can get to those muscle ups with a fair amount of time to take some good cracks at it. So it's really about managing grip and heart rate for most of this workout. For the elites that are looking to get back to the rower or the toes to bar, you're setting yourself up for some miserable rowing in the back half. But again, it really comes down to not having to stand around a lot in those muscle ups. So starting with a 60 cal row, I would row like 75% kind of effort. You really want to come in and cruise and pick up steam in this workout. I like workouts that start like this because it means I don't have to warm up quite so much. Spend a couple minutes on the rower right at the start, not at a frantic pace. It's kind of a good way to ease into it. So I think I rode about a 1500 to 1600 cal per hour pace on the opening 60, which is comfortable for me. I'm pretty good on a rower, and that kind of time domain, I can recover reasonably good. We had to take a little bit of time setting this up. I just did this in between classes, so I can obviously take over the gym and film everything as per the standards and the floor plans that they want. So it's always, I feel like the open is, sometimes the workouts are only half the stress. Like nowadays I feel like I do a lot of hard workouts, and actually the most stressful part of the open is making sure that your score counts and it's valid, and you follow the floor plans, you stick to all the standards, you don't false start, you don't do anything dumb, your cameras don't fail on you. So there's a lot of behind the scenes, making sure that things are good and fail safes. Like I've got 2 cameras running, we've got a clock there, and my other camera's got a backup clock. So it's all about redundancy, making sure that you can do it just once and move on with your life. So obviously just cruising through this row takes a little bit of time, but there we go. Toes to bar, I wasn't trying to do anything super aggressive. I think you want to be comfortable here, like I said, saving your arms a little bit for later in the workout. So you want to do something that's comfortable for you to get through 50 without wasting time, but without wasting your body too much. So I think I decided I was going to do 13, 13, 12, 12, and I think I ended up doing 13, 13, 13, 11 to just finish with a little smaller set. I like to have little routines on things like this. I'll kick off, kind of walk, touch the wall, turn around, kick back up, just do that kind of thing to keep me on a reasonable pace for my breaks. And I took a pretty relaxed long kip. There was no point in overusing your hip flexors, overusing your abs. You want to try to be as long and use your kip as nicely as you can, because you're going to want it when it comes time to do those muscle ups. So not wasting a lot of time in the breaks, which is nice. And then, third set here, you're starting to kind of think about the wall balls, see where you're at. I had initially kind of thought about breaking the wall balls even, just because it's a back half workout. It matters so much more how you feel at the end than at the start here. And I think in the end I didn't, but it's just to say that's a very reasonable approach. Breaking stuff up lots, even small sets of 5, 6 with fast breaks, you can get those toes to bar done really fast. So here, closing out the last set. Spin the grips around, pick up that wall ball, get to work. Launch the first couple, I think, way too high, just to be safe. And then kind of sink into a rhythm. 40 wall balls is 40 wall balls. I think for me, I could have broke it once. I ended up doing all 40, but you can easily break that into 2 or even 3 sets without wasting a lot of time and just have a couple free breaths. really, my muscle ups are very confident, so a lot of this openings round was banking a bit of time for the rings, and then really the barbell is where you start to set up for the rings. So this stuff was just kind of like in the way. It's a bit of almost, I hate to say it's like a buy-in, but it kind of almost is. I like this workout a lot. It's fun to do because time goes by pretty fast. It's not like some of those couplets or triplets where you just spin in a circle and you do like 1,000 rounds. Each movement takes a reasonable amount of time, so you actually, you can focus on one thing for a bit. When you move on, you fast forward 2 or 3 minutes, and then you move on to the next thing. You fast forward 3 minutes again. Chippers are nice like that. You kind of can focus your attention on one thing and then move forward one step at a time, and it's sort of like, it's a little bit less mind-numbing, I guess. So there's 40. Make my cute little transition across the 8 feet onto the barbell. There's really no point in doing much other than singles here. You really want to get your grip and everything and your heart rate ready for muscle ups. That's where breaks here, 1 second on the barbell isn't a big deal. When breaks start being 30, 40 seconds between the muscle up sets, that's where you really lose a lot of time and the clock starts to get away with you. So this is just setting yourself up. I actually had a little bit of a panic before this workout started. I loaded my bar 61 kilos. I loaded in kilos because on the score sheet it says, the official weight is in pounds, 135 pounds, and the acceptable kilo conversion is 61 kilos, which is 134.2 pounds. And it says acceptable minimum loading conversion. And we only have 20 kilo barbells. So if you load a 20 kilo barbell with 45 pound plates, you get 134 pounds, which is 0.2 less than what they said was the minimum accepted. So I didn't want to take any chances. I'm sure no one's going to chase you on that, but this is what goes on in our minds when we want to make sure things count. I was very specific about how I loaded things and did it to make sure that it's official and it counts, right? So yeah, just chipping away at singles. Sometimes when you're doing, I find for me, when I do long sets of barbell that's mid-weight like this or light, even, you can get away with a bit of a muscle clean or muscle snatch or something. Use your posterior chain a little bit more because we don't need it a ton here except for the rowing. And sometimes that helps to manage your heart rate a little bit, reduces the impact of the lift. I find it helps me from time to time. Obviously I have my back to the clock, so I think I peeked over a couple times to just make sure I wasn't fooling around too much. And there we go, onto the muscle ups around 720. And this is where you kind of make your money. So I'm pretty good on muscle ups, so I just decided before this workout I was gonna try to do it in 2 sets. And then I think right about here I was like, we'll see how this first set feels and then maybe call an audible. So not a crazy long break there, but it wasn't fast. I'm fairly lackadaisical in the transitions here, which is all right. So pretty confident on the muscle ups. My straps are pretty long, but that's fine. The straps start coming down here, sort of wrapping around my my neck and my arms, which is not awesome. I probably should have tied them a little tighter, but I was trying to get this done in between classes, so it I should be more patient and diligent. So ripped out a set of 12 there, set myself up to do it in 2 sets like I wanted. I think about here I'm kind of saying 2 sets is going to be really hard, and I think that strategy, similar like the toes to bar of doing some shorter sets with short breaks, works really well here. We weren't allowed to have the judges reset our monitors, so I tried to be sneaky there and go start my monitor to get ready for the next set. I had to switch directions because the straps were hanging in front on the other side now. So I have 8 more to do, and I think around 4 or 5 things get a bit hairy, and I squeeze it out, but only just. And it blew me up pretty good actually. So getting on the rower, I didn't feel great. Yeah, I think that's the last one. Catching it deep. And go figure, I went to turn my monitor on and it didn't turn on. So I went over and tried to pull, and it actually doesn't turn on for about 10 seconds, which is super annoying. I think I get 5 pulls in before the lights turn on. And that kind of sucks. I probably should have just pulled a little lighter and not wasted so much energy, but that's the way it goes. I lost some time there, which was a bit frustrating. And this last row is miserable. You kind of get on there, looking at the clock, I had more than 4 minutes left and plenty of time to finish the row and get toast bar in. So you don't want to like sell it out and sell the farm on the row, but you have to row at a reasonable clip. You don't want to waste time. And so, usually on things like that, I'll take the first 10 or so calories to try to like settle in, get your body back used to, okay, we're rowing again. My arms were pretty toasted. My heart rate was pretty jacked up from the 2 big sets. So like I said, I don't know. If I did it again, I maybe would have done 3 sets and made them a bit faster. But, you use the tools you got. If you're good at muscle ups, you can go for it. Yeah, so I think I pulled about a 1400 to 1500 pace in this row, closer to 1400 for sure. And yeah, with the screen not turning on, I feel like I got a little frustrated. I started rowing, and these little things sometimes can like knock you around a bit mentally. And I kind of like was looking at the clock and a bit annoyed, and like I should have 2 or 3 more calories. And I started thinking like, before the workout, I was thinking, maybe I'll try to finish the toast bar. And then about there, I thought, I don't know if I have enough time now. And I kind of stopped charging, and I thought, settle in, get to the toast bar feeling all right, and then just knock out as many as you can. So my attitude changed a little bit here in this row. Things got a little dark. And I think it cost me a little bit in the end, but that's all right. It's the Open, and I'm allowed to, if I'm gonna hold back in competition, it's gonna be now. But yeah, it's a grind for those 60 calories. It's definitely a different story on the back end. What was 75% effort on the first half for 1500 cal per hour was now like a 9 out of 10 effort for slower pace. So this was sort of like tough. I feel for people who end on the row, because at least I got to think about what I was going to do after that and not really just smash my head into the wall completely. Arms were pretty toast though, so I think I was using a little too much arms on there. Done the row, got to the toast bar, I wanted to jump up right away. I think I only do 5. Yeah, had to do a little re-grip there. So my grip was already a bit tired, so I decided I was gonna stick to small sets, try to stick doing 5s, come up with a small routine like that, touch the wall, turn around, and try to, at least if you're gonna do small sets, make them turn over pretty fast. I probably should have switched to more of a fast kip earlier, but heart rate was high from the row too. It's easy to have hindsight and say, I woulda, coulda, but in the moment, my coach has a great saying that if you would have gone faster, if you could have gone faster, you would have. So I think I did what I could then, and I made the decisions I thought I needed to make. So stuck to doing 5s. I think that's 20 now. And then it goes by still pretty quick. I was surprised. When I started and I was doing 5s, I thought, you might get to, 30, 35, we'll see. And then really quick, you come up on that 30, 35 mark, and you think, oh man, like actually I'm moving along at a pretty decent clip. Small sets like that work well. So coming up against the end of the time, switching to a bit of a faster kip, my grip's really gassed. There's no other way to say it. So I would have loved to have tried to hang on for some longer sets. I know lots of other guys did, but I was just sort of mentally, that was the routine I was in, was like short on and off the bar. These breaks start getting longer and longer, unfortunately. And yeah, in the end, I got right up close to the 50, which I think watching myself do these ones now, and with that little bit of a rower mishap, it's too bad. I feel like I probably had it in the tank to get to 50 and maybe at least look at the wall ball, but there you go, 44. So yeah, I mean, that's great. It's a really good score. It's a really good, I think it was a good performance. I was a bit risky on the muscle ups, and it was all right. I maybe could have had a little more guts at the end, and it's really easy 20 minutes after the workout's done to say, oh, if I just did 6s instead of 5s, I would have cleared those toast bar and had a wall ball in the bag and be one of a select few who maybe get to touch those wall balls. But the end of the day, it's one in the bank, and the Open is underway, and it's a pretty good way to start it. So this was a pretty fun workout to kick everything off. Like I said, lots to think about, a little less of just a mental torture, lots of skills, lots of stuff for everybody. So well balanced, lots of fun, good performance. Now it's all the fun part of just measuring everything that we have to do and make sure that we include in all of our videos to make sure things count, make sure our floor plans are nice. I have my 61 kilo bar, my 8-foot transition taped out. We go measure the wall. Yeah, all the good stuff, you know. So these are the things that I almost stress about more than the workout, like I said. So yeah, overall good 23.2. I think hopefully everybody's had a lot of fun doing it. Hopefully you did it with a nice group, not like me who does this kind of by myself in a quiet gym. And yeah, good luck to everybody for the rest of the Open. I hope you guys crush it, and you know, may it be your best Open yet. Cheers. We'll see you guys on the next one.